Wow, we're back just like that. And my son Jason Burrows is the first one out there commenting, doing the countdown for us. 20 right on, Jason. And hello, everybody. Welcome back. Just so you know, we were laughing before we went live. We were having good discussions here, and we were just talking about how at least Collin and I are looking forward to this every month. We know a lot of you look forward to being here with us, and we're happy to be here with you as well. And this time around, ladies and gentlemen, no introduction needed, I think. Eric Godard is here joining us from County and Coxon Towing. Thanks for being here, Eric.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. We're figuring we're really hoping viewership is up because you're here, Eric.
I should add at least a couple of people, maybe. Maybe, right? Maybe. Don't put no pressure on me.
Okay, all right, there you go. One of the things we like to do, folks, of course, lots of people joining us here. That's fantastic. Please put your questions and your positive comments into the chat there, and I'll do my best. For those of you who've been here before, you know I have a hard time keeping up with the comments, but usually everybody wants to say hello, so we want to start there. There's Chris saying hello.
Hey, Chris. Hi, Joseph.
Joseph. One of the things we like to know as well is where are you watching from? Eric, your first time being here, you might be surprised. We've had people from Australia, China, all throughout the United States joining us here today. So
come in for the live chat.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, there's Sean from.
Hello, Sean.
Once in a while, they ask me questions too.
Yeah.
I have to look up.
Okay, there you go. This is going to be the first argument here. Somebody's saying hello, handsome. Which one is she referring to?
It's got to be me. It's got to be me.
It's got to be Eric, right? Yeah.
Hi, Greg.
And hey, Greg.
Hey, Lisa.
Lisa, loyal follower.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Lisa, for being here. Eric, welcome to our show here, but the show Heavy Rescue 401. What's that experience been like for you?
It's been something, I can say. Obviously, I don't have as big of a part as somebody like Collin does on the show. It's been an eye opener for me. So I couldn't imagine guys like him, but I don't know. It's just a lot of fun for me. That's why I do it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, Eric, what got you started into the towing business? How long have you been doing it?
Well, I've been at it probably 30 years now. I used to work across the street at a demolition yard from a towing company, which was Coxon Towing. I used to watch them come in with all the trucks, and I literally just up and left my job one day, told my boss I'm going to go drive a tow truck, but didn't have a license, so that kind of put the damper on things. But eventually I got one, and here I am.
There you go. And to hold true, there's Andrew watching from United Kingdom.
Hi, Andrew.
I'd say good day, but I'm not really sure. Probably more like night there.
They're about 5 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours ahead. So, geez, midnight right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I do that.
Patricia from Stratford.
Hey, Peter. How you doing, buddy? Got to be careful, Peter. I have mean questions. Peter Collin is one of the guys I work with Brad, probably 14 years by the time I left there. Yeah, he's been there a long time. Still works for Brad as well.
Okay, nice.
See,
okay, well, here's there you go. Let's mark that down, Eric. I want to keep track of this.
Am I winning? No way.
Here, so far. Here's a question out here from Tim Dyson, who's one of our regular followers here. Hello, Tim. And I think this is okay for you guys to probably answer. I'll leave it up to you. Evening, gentlemen. As a truck driver in a different industry, he said he's seen on other social media groups that the MTO won't be bothering tow truck drivers anymore. Have they kept their word? Collin, you want to try that one on? I'm not sure what that's about.
Well, so with a lot of things going on in the industry, there was kind of like this whole hold on the MTO going after the tow trucks, and it was more just because of the violence going on up in Toronto.
Okay.
But down our way, we have such a good rapport with the local MTO guys. You know, they know our equipment, they know what we drive, they know it's all up to date and all maintained. So yeah, they leave us alone. I can't speak for other places, and
Right.
you know, I still think that people should be held to the same standards. You know, we need to keep up our equipment going down these roads. We need to be safe on these highways.
Yeah. Kind of like a police officer. If you're not speeding, they probably won't pull you over.
Exactly.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, Eric, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with it 100%. You know, it's, I mean, if you're looking for trouble, you're going to find it, right? If you follow the rules and keep a good report, you typically don't run into those problems.
Yeah. Right on. Thanks, Tim, for the question. There's
Hey,
Toby
Toby.
saying hello.
Hey, Dino.
From Ottawa. Okay, so Eric, you've got a bit of a fan club going on here. Before I put up this next one, like Peter said hi, but then Carrie says, "Look at that sexy Eric."
Yeah, well, I could give you some history there, but I won't. Okay, on a serious note.
There's more. There's Vicky saying, "We love you, Eric."
This gives me at least 3 now. Okay, and Carrie, I can't show her my sexy legs right now, but Carrie, for the record, is Peter's wife, guys.
Yes, I can.
Fantastic people, just for the record. But I'm not surprised that came out. We'll just say that.
I figured it was probably a safe one, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's Greg Hockey here in Sarnia. Thanks.
Hey, Greg.
Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Carl's watching from Oshawa.
Yep.
You watching this on your phone? Are you on your phone right now, Collin?
No, I've got my laptop. I got a setup.
I was gonna get one from my TV, but short notice, got to order, whatever. I got to go in there and get them now.
We got Collin though, like he's the man. He's got a whole studio going on there in the house now. Like,
but he's still
got lighting and everything. So
I still got my wired mics. I'm still nowhere near what you got for ear mics there.
All right, we've got lots of hellos here. I try to get to everybody, but just not. There's Australia watching. Hello, wow. Australia.
Hey, Joseph. We could have broadcasted this from there. I'd have been good with that.
Yeah. Hi, Claude.
Quebec City.
Claude.
Right. Connecticut. And there's, PEI's in there watching as well. Niagara Falls.
Hey, Aaron.
Because he's got headphones and shit on.
All right. I hear somebody talking in the background.
Yeah, they're picking you up, honey. Well, she's kind of the most important person in this room, believe me.
There you go.
The boss.
And there's a good friend of mine, Jesse, here in Sarnia, watching from London. He's at the Petro Canada here in Sarnia. Thanks, Jesse.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah, he's supposed to be working with outside of Arkona in Hungary Hollow.
Hey, Crystal.
Massachusetts is here.
Wow.
Right.
I want someone to give Collin a hard question.
Yeah. I could spend a lot of time on Jacksonville, Florida is here as well, saying, hey,
wow.
Right. Toby says, Eric needs more TV time so he can get a studio like Collin. and it starts. Here we go. Here's a good one though. Darlene says, "Love your presence and professionalism on the road. Lots of great guys." Eric, question: how tall are you? When watching, you look pretty tall.
I'm going to go with very. I'm very tall.
Very tall.
I'm 6'5".
I think you give Kerry Schmidt a run for his money there, because I think you both are about the same height.
Yeah, we're pretty close. I didn't look up at him though. I can tell you that.
Here's Costa Rica is watching us tonight as well.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's often comments, the original posters with a lot of folks on them, and we're all almost the same height.
Yeah.
Every time I look at a poster, I kind of giggle, eh?
Yeah, we both know that there's a few people who tower over the rest. I'm not one of them.
I got scars on top of my head that say that's not a glory there.
The dangers of being tall, eh?
No doubt. There definitely are many.
All right, we're going to try to move on to some of the questions now. Again, for those of you saying hello, if I don't get to you, we do appreciate you being here, but there's so much. I need to record it sometime, Collin, just so everybody can see what's happening on this side of things here. But here's a good one from Matthew Smith. Hi, guys, from Wasaga Beach. With the huge strain that you put the lines on those heavy wreckers through, how long does a line last before they have to be replaced? And have you ever had one break? Eric, I'll let you start off with that, buddy.
Well, I like to think they last as long as you take care of them. Really, the strain, what we would call the load on that line is really what you need to know your math about. You start figuring out how much weight's going to be there. They've got specific ratings for them, and if you work within those ratings and you make sure that you take care of that line, they'll last 3 years.
Yeah. Have you ever had one break on you though?
I've had two over the years break. One, I backed away from the truck because I knew it was about to happen, and the other one, pretty much the same thing. I've rubbed a line on the edge of one of the way it's difficult to explain, but basically watching it rub on some steel, I knew I was in trouble, but there was no way to go without letting that rub finish out, and yeah, it was a pretty scary deal. What shocks me more is when a chain left. It's hard to predict.
Yeah. I've talked to Collin before about this, but there's a lot of noises, like squeaking and crunching, and you must be able to decipher the good noise from the bad noise.
Yeah, it's like feeling the truck sometimes. Even like I don't have a truck with a remote right now, but I did for quite a long time. And whenever you start to push those limits, you want your hands on them controls so you can feel the truck move and you can hear all those things. You can almost feel the vibrations and things through the controls. So nowadays with the fancy electronics, it's a little bit harder, but still having that sound and the touch is really important.
Yeah. Right. Collin, what about you? You ever had one break on you?
I have had actually one let go. And it was only in a light duty, thankfully, so the lines aren't as heavy in that case. And it's funny. This was back when they first started using the brine salt on the roads, and it was before we realized that the brine salt was actually eating the cables from the inside out. So the cable looks fine on the outside, but it rots from the inside out, and ended up having one let go because it was just a routine pull out of the ditch. Car wasn't stuck very hard. It was just a nice, easy pull, and the vehicle was moving, and it just let go on me. But that's the only time, thankfully, that I've had anything like that. And since then, we've come up with ways to check for the lines, make sure that they aren't rotting from the insides now.
Yeah. Now, when you say a routine, I would almost want to say that no such thing as a routine when you pull up to something. I would think you can't be too complacent. You kind of expect the unexpected, right?
This is true. You always have to be prepared for the crazy stuff happening, because it will jump out and surprise you a lot of times. But yeah, you kind of get your methods, I guess, is what I should say.
Yeah. I knew what you meant, but I thought just in case Dad's watching.
Yeah, got to give me a hard time.
In case.
There you go. Joseph from Australia says, I have friends in the towing game over here in Australia. One of their heavy tow trucks is 125 ton rated and 130 ton.
Wow. That's crazy heavy.
Good.
Yeah, we don't have anything quite that big over here.
Eric, what's your favorite truck to drive?
Anything with a hook on the back, really. I don't really care. If I had to pick a preference, I would say the back end would be more important. I like running the rotator, but if it's got a hook on the back, I'll get her done one way or the other.
Right. Don says, and this is interesting. We're gonna, we'll put this out there. Slow down and move over. But how do you stop people from hitting our tow families? This is something that has started a lot of campaigns as far as like slow down and move over. There is the dangers to the job, right? Let's take that to both of you. Collin, I'll start with you on this one.
It does start a lot with how we set up our safety zones, setting up the cones properly, giving drivers a lot of advanced warning while we're out there on the side of the roads. That's a big part of what we do out there because unfortunately, drivers just don't pay attention, and the more notice that we can give them, the better.
Yeah, for sure. Eric, anything you could add to that?
Yeah, just it's not just relying on us. I guess in some cases when you're working on the highway, you got to give props to the police that are sitting back there in their cruisers that much further, being the, hate to say it that way, but literally being the first target. It becomes that serious for us on the side of the road, especially in some of the weather conditions, right?
Yeah, right. Here's an interesting. I'm not sure. Okay, Collin, this is definitely going to be for you. Melanie says, what trouble would you be in if you brought a truck back with the wire rope and a bird's nest? Would Gary make you hand polish his truck? I'm obviously missing something here.
Oh man. Well, it's always just kind of truck etiquette to make sure that the cable, the wire rope is spooled properly, because at the end of the day, when you're going back out to do another call, it makes it that much harder to pull the wire rope out if it's all bird nested and whatnot. And for the hand polishing part, I do hand wash both my new truck and my dad's truck, so that one's already out of the question. We don't use the brushes on either of those trucks.
Obviously, this was something I totally missed from before. So, well, of course, everybody watching, of course, Heavy Rescue 401 continues on the Discovery Channel right now, every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern. I felt really bad because I missed last week. I haven't even caught the replay, but I heard that they finally got around to showing off the new rotator. Is that right, Collin?
They did, yes. Yep. Finally released that out to the public. I know we've kind of had posts about it for a while now, but a lot of people who weren't following either of our pages now have finally got to see it. So that's kind of been a fun little piece. So a lot of people are pretty excited about that. I think is maybe even more excited than me and my dad are.
I know it's popular when people start messaging me and going, "Hey, do you know anything about this?" True story. And I'm like, "Hey, they don't tell me anything." Claudette says, "I heard that a 100-ton rotator is illegal about anywhere in Canada." Anybody know anything about that?
I think that it's more for the weight that you're referring to there, Claude, and depending on, I do know there are certain provinces that have different weight classes and stuff like that, so it may be more just the weight on the axles of the truck. But mind you, here in Ontario, the tow trucks are pretty well exempt from the weights on the axles, because realistically you can't get around some of this stuff when you're towing a loaded dump truck or garbage hauler or cement truck, anything like that. There is no truck out there that's actually going to be properly rated on its axles. There's just no way of getting around that, unfortunately.
Right. Okay.
I just want to see a 100-ton tow truck.
What's that, Eric?
I just want to see up close that 100-ton tow truck.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Here it's happening. They're just going. And I can't get this going.
Maybe they're sending me pictures of a 100-ton tow truck, but I've seen pictures.
What's the weight rating for the new rotator, Collin?
The new rotators are 65-ton rotators. So all three rotators that we've had have all been 65 tons. It's a very well-rounded truck for us. We don't really need anything bigger than that in our area. So yeah, the 65-ton is our newest one.
Okay, right on. Christine wants to know, hey, Eric and Collin, how many tow shows have you done? Well, none lately, but Eric, what about you?
You mean actually participated in only a couple of the shows here in Ontario, but I've been to quite a few, like throughout the states. I'm not usually that guy that goes to many of the shows.
Right.
Yeah,
Colin?
it's I can't even count. Like I remember years ago, my parents would always take us down to Florida for the tow show down there, and we'd turn that into our vacation. We'd go to the tow show for a couple days and then go to Disneyland. So I remember growing up doing that, and that was always quite fun.
Right on. Do you just drive your own trucks, or do others drive them also, Colin?
We kind of drive everything. Like in our fleet, at least everyone kind of drives every truck. We like to be well rounded that way, so that way we don't have to rely on someone to do a bunch of calls while everyone else is just sitting around. Everyone's got the capability of driving and operating pretty well each truck in our fleet.
Okay, Eric?
Yeah, we do tend to assign trucks to each operator for sure, but like Collin though, when the time calls for it, if certain people aren't doing anything and they need you somewhere else, they'll certainly jump seats, whatever they have to do just to make the place go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Here's a good one. Kate says, for both, what is your favorite part of driving a heavy wreck? Eric?
My favorite part? I don't really know, to be honest with you, what my favorite part of it be. Maybe messing up traffic, slowing people down because I have no. Okay, can't say that. Eh? If I would say that, everybody makes me wait all day. No, I only live in Toronto. I don't know. I just really enjoy everything about the job. I mean, I've been doing it 30 years now, and I wake up still happy to go to work in the morning. So it's just like the job now, I guess.
Well, every day is something new, right? And that's
Yeah.
part of the fun of it. You never know what you're going to get into every day. Like you could be going to a wreck one day, you could be, going 3,000 kilometers away from home the next. You never know. It's pretty cool that way.
Yeah. Here, I'll throw in my own question here, and we've talked a lot about, Colin and I here before with other guests, about the mental side of this job, Eric. There's a lot going on up there when obviously when you get on site to a heavy rescue that you have to do. But what about the getting up in the morning? Like, do you guys have, like, how do you prepare yourself for the day? Because like Colin said, you just don't know what's coming. Do you have something that you do to keep yourself healthy that way, or what are you thinking about when you get up? Eric?
For me, I don't think I give it any thought. For me, when I'm at work, I can be doing the simplest of jobs, or and truck pile up carnage. For me, I just seems to just calm me down. I just seem to do what needs to be done and don't give it any thought. I'm pretty famous for at home. I was saying, how do you deal with things at work when this drives you so crazy? But for some reason, when I'm working, it's just what I do, I guess. I don't give it any thought. It needs to be done, and just jump in, and it's going to get done.
Yeah. Colin?
Yeah, you kind of get into that zone, and you focus on the job at hand. That's kind of the way that we see it. Is we're just out there doing our job. And for me, yeah, that's pretty well it. I'm out there. I'm trying to make things a little bit better. I wasn't there. I wasn't the one who caused it or anything like that. I'm just the guy trying to make it better. So that's kind of the way that I look at it. Doing the harder jobs.
Yeah, 100%. Good for you guys. I can tell you, I often think about, and Colin will tell you, knowing his family for so long and stuff, and getting to know each other better over the years, I'll often text him and just say, be safe out there, right? Just because that snow day comes along, and I just think about it and I go, wow, like Jennifer, my wife, and I talk about it often. Like, you guys are really, you're in a sense a front liner, if you will, right? You're a lot of times one of the first to the scene, and there's just so much going on, and I get scared watching heavy rescue sometimes, because back to that slow down and move over, Eric, like I see that look on your face when they're going by sometimes. And that's just watching it on the television. Can't imagine being right there. That's going to be frustrating.
I've had some pretty close calls over the years. I remember one job we were on Collin, the highway number 3 highway. We actually had, I think the road was actually closed, and somebody went around it and piled into the back of one of our wreckers, and I was standing behind the wrecker, and one of the guys saw the vehicle coming. I didn't see it and yelled at me, and I jumped out of the way. And then I think there was at least 8 people in the minivan, and some of them very seriously injured. But on a closed road with police, fire, ambulance, my truck was probably almost 12 feet off the road, I think, when it got hit. So that's keeps you awake. You start thinking about things like that when you're on the side of the highway.
Right. And then it was a couple of weeks ago. I was watching Heavy Rescue. Let's talk about stupid. Okay, here for just a moment. There's all this lumber all over the road, and people, as soon as one went, the rest went. They were like, I don't know if it was like, well, he went, so it must be okay. Like, come on. What are people thinking out there?
I've seen people try to pull around.
I was waiting for some guy to pull up with a pickup truck and start loading up the wood.
Yeah.
You really have to shake your head sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, people start. It's follow the leader at that point, and it's crazy some of the stuff we've seen.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, you almost want to just sit back and watch and wait for them to call another tow truck. Right?
Pretty well.
I can say that.
Yourself,
Collin, I think you got a new fan out here. Michelle Dennis says, I'm so impressed with Collin. She's
Hi,
here.
Michelle. Thank you.
And she also says, I'm glad you're learning all aspects of the business. It's been quite a journey, right, Collin? From when you first, started into this business, and you kind of had to prove yourself, because of Dad's cape, if you will. But you've really come a long way with doing that, right? And you're still learning every day, though, right? There's a lot going on. What you're dealing with. You're not just driving the tow truck anymore.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is you can never know it all in this business. There's so many things that'll just kind of flip your world upside down, if you will. And it's one of those things that you can't be prepared for every situation. You just got to kind of roll with the punches as they come in. And over the last couple of years, I've been stepping into more of the business aspect of things and really trying to learn the actual business part. And it's a completely different game. It's more of the logistics and the paperwork and stuff like that, and making the company run. And it's it's different. It's hard because I'm used to being out in the trucks and stuff like that, and kind of sitting back and getting that piece of the business. It's a little bit harder. I like being out on the roads, but I know that is a very important part of this business, is actually being able to run it as well as operating it.
Yeah,
you make running them trucks sounding better every day.
Here we go. I need to get a horn.
It was a compliment, actually.
I know. Susan Fuller says, how does it work when you have a call right at the border? You both deal with that. Do you have to carry your passport to work? Eric, I'll let you take that one.
I always have my passport at work. I don't necessarily always have it in my truck. But if I'm at work, my passport at the furthest is in my car parked at the shop. So yeah, because it can happen. You get called out. You better grab your passport just in case if you end there.
Yeah, and for us up here, being like literally right at the border, we do quite a bit of cross-border calls. Trucks breaking down over in the States. So pretty well all of our staff has a fast card, which is essentially not a quick pass, but you're pre-approved. So it usually helps crossing the border that way. You show that card, and it's less questions. You hand them the card, they swipe it, ask you where you're going, and away you go. But yeah, we all carry our cards with us pretty well all the time, because yeah, you never know when you're getting that call to go across the border.
Right. Okay. It's doing it again. I had a question ready. Let's try this. Do heavy wrecker operators have to follow the same hours of service limits as truck drivers? And do you have to plan your days around the weather forecast when storms are expected? Eric?
I pass. Can I pass that question?
Can you pass? Sure.
Well, okay, we'll pass that one.
Yeah. So
now Peter's laughing.
Yeah. So heavy, like tow truck drivers are exempt in Ontario from the hours of operation. Like the truck drivers have to follow the hours of operation, but tow truck drivers are exempt from that here in Ontario. Now, mind you, when we do cross the border over into the States, we do have to follow those hours of service. But yeah, as for up here, you don't know where you're going in a day. So with the heavy ops, heavy tow trucks and stuff like that, yeah, you really kind of just roll with it. I mean, you also have to limit yourself personally, because you don't want to be driving for 24 hours. That's not safe in general.
Yeah.
So as a personal kind of level, yeah, we do limit ourselves to how far we're going to drive and how much we're going to drive, because it doesn't make sense to put ourselves into a situation where we're going to get hurt or hurt someone else. And as for like the weather and stuff like that, yeah, we do kind of plan ahead. We watch the weather systems as they're coming in. If we do see any weather systems coming in, we like to get our trucks ready, make sure that everything's topped up on fuel. We've got some extra warm clothes. We've got extra change of clothes, snacks and stuff like that, just so that we're prepared in case we're out for 30, 40 hours, pulling people out of the ditches.
Right.
Yeah. Well, hey, David, if I can add to that,
you gotta be smart. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just what Collin was saying there about the weather. It's almost funny when you think about it, because even a place like yourself, Collin, you guys, I mean, the trucks are taken care of, right, so well, and they're equipped so well, but still, when big storms and things are coming, that you do take that extra care, right? It's just something that any real reputable operation is going to do, just to make sure that last minute thing's not forgotten, to make sure it's ready to go.
Yeah. Wow. I never, it ceases to amaze me every time I do this. Like, it just gets me thinking about, there's so many moving parts to what you guys do. And I'm not just talking about the trucks, right? There's really just so much going on that, you wouldn't want to be tired. So if you're a smart professional, you're saying, okay, I have hit my limit here. I have to stop, and somebody else is going to have to take this over, or whatever that looks like, or pull over and go. I don't know. But really, honestly, kudos to you guys. You really have a unique profession that you're involved with. Jack Kane says he loved the hoodie Dave's wearing, but mine looks better. Well, there you go, Jack. How many there you go. How many signed posters do you have, Jack?
I think he has quite a few, because he's got a few of
he
our
probably
stuff.
does. I'm sure he does. Jack's a regular follower and watcher here. Good to see you here, Jack. And the hoodies are comfortable. And by the way, that's a good segue into if you would like some of the merchandise from Preferred Towing, and of course it says it's got heavy rescue on it, and there's new merchandise that is now available, and the proceeds from all the merchandise go to support a youth transitional housing facility here that Gary and Tammy Van den Heuvel have purchased the old ABC daycare and turned it into a youth transitional housing facility that has been very much needed in our community, but still needs support. So proceeds from purchase of the merchandise go to that. Collin, do you want to talk a little bit about that? What that is for those who maybe don't know?
Yeah, so it's Ohana Landing is the name of the building that my mom has put together, and it is for youth who are having a hard time in our community, who don't have somewhere to live. It's giving them that hand up in life. It's not a handout, as my mom likes to call it. It's a hand up, and it's helping these youth kind of get a firm foundation, so that way they can get out there and focus on other things like getting a job, becoming productive, and really forwarding themselves into our community. It's something that in the long term it helps our community, because now these youth are working towards going forward in life.
Yes, it's a great facility, and the other great part about Ohana Landing is not only is it helping some youth in our community, but the community here in Sarnia-Lambton has really stepped forward to support the facility as well, from donations of food and blankets and just things. There's a lot of generosity going on there, and I know it makes your mom very proud to see that success going on. So, but again, for those of you who want to continue to support, you can make your purchase online at preferredtowing.com. All right, let's go back to the comments, see what I can find here. Thanks, Jack, by the way. I do like my hoodie, and it's very warm and comfy. Lisa's looking forward to the show, newest season. Have you had it? Melody says, have you had an increase in cross-border work hauling items that people are not able to pick up themselves with the border being closed?
I'll let you go first, Eric, on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say we haven't. I've heard of that going on for sure, but I don't think we've run into much of that at our border here. There might be some people running that here, but we certainly haven't.
Yeah, up here in Sarnia, it's been crazy. A lot of people trying to import cars, boats, planes, even motorhomes, like just all sorts of stuff. And because they physically can't go across the border and do it themselves anymore, they're calling us a lot more for stuff like that. So our way, we've definitely seen a huge increase in that. It's been definitely an interesting go at it.
Very good. Andrew says he wants to know, do you ship the merchandise to England as well?
We ship worldwide, yes. So anywhere in the world you want to go. Obviously the shipping is a little bit more for going over to England, but yeah, we ship all over the place.
Yeah, and not just, I should have had pictures up for this, but not just hoodies, t-shirts. They got I guess you'd call them travel mugs and t-shirts. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for right there. Awesome. And both men and women and all that stuff. So yeah, whatever you're looking for, again, preferredtowing.com. Joseph's heading off. Thanks for answering my question, Eric. Stay safe and slow down and move over.
Thank you for watching, Joseph.
Jared says,
hey, Jared. Doing well, thank you. Hope all is well in Arizona there.
All right, Gary Maxwell's looking for a shout out.
Hey, Gary.
In Brockton, Massachusetts.
Gary?
Wow. That's awesome.
Eric, you seeing all this happening here, right? With people watching from all over and really appreciating what you guys do, being very grateful, really being sincere fans. Did you see any of this? Were you ready for any of this when you got into Heavy Rescue 401, and how have you been able to handle it?
I'm still, I still kind of giggle and almost shocked still to this day when people want me to sign a poster or something. I kind of crack up about it. So no, I didn't expect it for sure. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get used to be honest with you. But again, it's a lot of fun. That's why I do it, right? So.
Yeah, it's a good feeling though, right? Because you got to know that you're having a very strong and positive impact on people, and not just the big kids, the little kids that are watching too.
Oh, it's amazing. Like some of the kids that their parents typically obviously would like message you on Facebook. We've had the opportunity to meet quite a few of them, right? Like if they're local and they can get to us as long as the parents are there, obviously, and they want to come by and see the trucks. I love that. I'll even set the rotator up and let the kids run the truck and stuff, whatever. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And fortunately my boss is pretty tolerant of that kind of stuff. So you know, everybody's enjoying the show and supports the show. So we do what we can to make it fun for them too.
Right on. I think it's fantastic. Collin, okay, then here's a quick, you know what we could do next time? I had an idea maybe, Collin, is we could set up a Kahoot full of questions, towing questions, and everybody could play along from their phones at home.
There we
What
go.
do you think?
Oh, yeah, let them answer.
Well, here, right? Yeah. Here's the first question, though. Christine says, "Hey, Collin, do you know whose picture is in the April in your calendar?"
I
Who's
do.
April? I don't even have my calendar here.
That's me. So I got that one. That
Okay.
one was kind of funny, actually. My birthday's in May, so it was kind of ironic. I was thinking that I was going to be put in May, but April works too because there's a lot of cool things that go on in April. A little background behind that too. So I've been over to the Vimy Ridge Memorial over in Europe, and that goes on in April. And for me, the whole World War I and World War II history, I'm a big history buff and that sort of stuff. So, you know, that sort of stuff is very special to me. And, you know, April is a very special month because of that. So that's, I was okay with April being my month.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
When's my month? Oh, I didn't get one. Never mind.
Do you want one? We'll put you in next year.
I'm pretty good.
Boy.
The pages aren't big enough.
You got to pose in front of our rotator, though.
No, yeah. Can I drive it? That's all I want to know.
All for you. You can have the key anytime.
Oh, boy.
Well, speaking of new trucks, Collin, I think a lot of your fans probably know, but that's a new 1-ton truck there, isn't it?
Yep, that's my new 1-ton there. So I just recently replaced my muddy road recovery truck that everyone seems to love and enjoy. So this is my new on-call truck. We'll put it that way. When I'm driving the light duty stuff, that's pretty well what I'm driving in the first picture there. So, you know, it's been a lot of fun, that truck. I really enjoyed doing the whole process of building that truck, and you'll get to see more into that actually next year on Heavy Rescue. So it's I'm happy with it.
Folks, I can tell you he is super, super happy with it because he sent me a picture right away. Like, he's like, I haven't put this out anywhere yet, but I tried to share it with somebody, and I got a picture, and I was like, it's really cool. And it is really cool. We're looking forward to seeing that on Heavy Rescue 401. What else are we looking at here, Collin?
Some other jobs that I've done in the last couple of weeks there. The ones on the right there, those are that was a very interesting job, actually. It was a sea can loaded with these threaded rod that they couldn't get out with their forklift. It wasn't a strong enough forklift to lift each of those pieces. So we had to lift them with the rotator, and it was like a really tight squeeze, like only a couple inches on the top of the head of the boom there between the roof and the top of the boom of the rotator. It was quite an interesting job. I really had a fun time figuring that one out, how to rig it so that I wasn't, you know, pulling the cable right up into the sheath head and all that, and making sure that I had enough height there to get everything out. It was a difficult one, but it made me think outside the box. And then
There you go.
the other one there is just a cool hot rod pickup truck that I've been towing around the last couple of weeks for the guy. He's been bringing it around to different shops, getting them to finish off little pieces to it here and there. So, you know, I always love doing the hot rods. I'm a car guy, so anytime I get a chance to do the hot rods and stuff like that, it's always fun.
Right on. And Tyler has a question actually about how's your dad's hand feeling?
It's doing all right. You know, it's as best as it's going to be. He's got about 85% usage out of it right now. You know, it's a tough go, but you know, he's a really headstrong guy. He's going to make sure that he can work with it. So, you know, that's been the good thing. You know, everything that you're seeing is a year behind. So obviously now it's been a year since that's all gone on, but no, it's definitely been an interesting year. A lot of learning curves for both him and I Last year it was a lot of me stepping into roles that I hadn't done before because he just couldn't do them because of his hands. So, it was a challenge, but he's a strong guy. He persevered. So.
Well, I remember when it happened, there was a lot of concern. It was actually, we were doing the heavy rescue fundraiser that we normally do here in Sarnia, and it was and I was like, oh my God, and it was very concerning, right? And especially for kind of need your hands for this job, right? So
yeah,
yeah. I don't know if they're trying to get rid of your dad, but this question always comes up every week. I'm only saying, Eric, I pick on Gary all the time because he's never here to defend himself. How much longer before your dad can retire?
My guess is that Collin's answer to this and Gary's answer to this are not the same.
Oh no!
Right on, Eric.
I know exactly where my dad's going to be for the next 20 years because anytime he hears there's going to be a wreck or there is a wreck or something like that, that my phone's going to be ringing and he's going to be saying, "Where's the wreck? I need to come out." I'm not getting rid of him that easily, but I think he is looking forward to kind of slowing down a little bit and enjoying a little bit more outside of the towing and recovery world. But I know that anytime we get a wreck, he's going to be there.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this. Like maybe I'm not supposed to tell you, but he put a little secret GPS tracker on your new tow truck there, so he knows where you are at all times.
Probably does, yeah.
Eric, you're having, obviously you've been doing this a long time. I'll go back to Heavy Rescue 401 for a moment. You hear the laughter and stuff that goes on here. You guys have a lot of fun doing this Heavy Rescue 401, don't you?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. Well, listening to some of these guys' stories means everybody's life in this business is pretty close to the same, really. But yeah,
right.
It's a lot of fun. Like things like this, Collin asked me about doing this and took me probably 15 seconds to say yes, if that. And I hung up the phone and I said, "Oh shit, how am I going to do that? Like, I didn't know how to get it done."
What did I just agree to?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wasn't kidding when I said I was sitting on my sofa looking at the TV in panic mode, thinking, "What if I don't get this done right now?" I told these guys I'll do it, and but you see, it encourages me to learn new things. So there you go. There you go. Like you say, you never know what it's going to be from one day to the next.
Yeah. Did you have, and this is a regular question, but we've never been able to ask you, was it an adjustment for you to have the camera crews around you?
For me, honest, no, it's almost embarrassing because, I had to kind of be careful about the way I carry myself, things I talk about and things, just because I forget the cameras and the mics are on me. Literally, I don't think
right.
If 15 minutes with a microphone on me, and I was one of those, yeah, there's a lot of beeps, we'll say, if they air all that, but
right. I hear you.
I've always been comfortable with it. I don't know, I don't even know why, but yeah, it's never bothered me at all.
Yeah. Is there a lot of pranks going on with the film crew?
What's that?
Are there many pranks happening with the film crew? I've heard rumors of this.
No, not for us. Not for us. No, we haven't. I've heard a few, but take advantage of the situation when it's one of them that fall on their rear in the mud somewhere, or it's kind of good to see it happen to them too, not just us. See the blooper reels. Don't show too many camera guys, but believe me, they make that cut if they want to use it.
Here's another one watching. David says hello, Collin and Eric watching from Northeast Tennessee.
Hi, David.
David.
Lose track of where you were again?
I did. Is it obvious?
No, didn't notice.
No, I didn't notice at all. Feel free to carry on without me. There was there's one in particular I was looking for, actually. There was a rally recently, was there, about a move over rally? Do you want to talk about that, Collin?
Yeah, so our friend Tom Whitworth put that together up in London. So we did go up there with two of our trucks. We took the rotator and my new truck there up that way to take part in this rally. And it was just kind of showing our support for everyone else in the industry. It's very important for us to be supportive in this industry because there is so much risk in this industry. No matter what color your truck is, what the name on the side of the truck is, the risk is all the same for every one of us who goes out there and works on the side of the highways. And, for us to be able to take part in that and just, give the general public that idea, hey, we are out there, please watch for us, give us that space, slow down, move over. It's important for us to do.
Yeah, for sure. Eric, any comments to that?
Well, I 100% agree with them. Unfortunately, I did not make it up there. I wish I could have, but I think what they're doing is obviously extremely important for obvious reasons, right? For the dangers that we all face, no question.
Yeah. It was a little farther of a drive for you to make it up that way for sure.
Yeah, a little bit. Not obviously not doable for sure. Just unfortunately, the days the way they've been playing out for us just doesn't allow the time for me to get away like that. But yeah, I wish I could have.
Sean says, "Hey, Collin, Eric, talk about the tow show this year. Is there one happening?"
I don't even know what's happening. I hope it is though.
Yeah, I don't know where we're at with that. Unfortunately. We just have to kind of see what we're allowed to do. Unfortunately, as COVID's been going on, it's kind of put a lot of dampering and restrictions on doing stuff like that. So unfortunately, we're not sure where things are going to go for this year, unfortunately. But hopefully, we will get back to the swing of things soon enough.
There's a lot of uncertainty going on. Kind of going back to Gary being on scene, I remember Tammy dropping Gary off at a wreck on the way back from Toronto. He was not even dressed for work.
That's the fun of this business. You never know where you're going to be some days, and some days it's hop in a truck and go. And today, I'm not even on call today. And I had a friend call me up and say, hey, I need to tow, blew out a tire on the highway. So I ran over to the shop, just grabbed a truck. You kind of do what you got to do some days. No work gear on, just get out there and get the job done some days.
I'll tell you a story
and
about
by the
that.
way, go ahead, Eric.
You're talking about sometimes not being prepared for work. I recall I have a brother who lives out west that had come into town for the first time in probably 7 or 8 years at the time. So there's going to be a big family dinner at a fancy restaurant. Of course, I ended up working late, so my wife and kids are going to meet me there. I go home, shower, get in the suit, and on the way to the restaurant, big wreck in front of me and a full of ice water up to my waist to the suit, dress shoes, and ended up pulling some people out of a car, put a truck fire out, didn't get the tow call. I didn't get paid for the car that I pulled out, and the restaurant was closed by the time I was done and cleaned up. So kind of a loss, but is what it is. You never know.
Exactly.
Would have been a
Eric,
good story.
this might be.
Yeah.
This might be a tough question because you've been. Right. This might be a tough question because you've been towing for so long, but I've seen it asked a few times in the chat. Do you have a very unique or crazy, outstanding tow that you ever had to do? One that kind of has stuck with you all this time?
I've had it, to be honest with you, probably had a few of them that stick with me that I don't prefer to talk about. Unfortunately, I think it's the tragic ones that tend to really stick with you, But I mean, I've done some pretty big wrecks that stand out. We did the big fog wreck that happened in '99, and I can tell you that it happened September 3rd, 1999, which will tell you how much it sticks out in my mind. But jobs like that, we've done some pretty big things with, unfortunately, tragic results that you tend to remember for some reason. But that being said, that's really all I can say about that, I guess.
Yeah. any silly? I think they were looking too for like something like silly that you're just like, wow, that ever happened. Is there anything like that?
Yeah, I'm sure I've got lots. Can't spit one out on like short notice like that, I guess, like off the cuff. But yeah, I mean, Collin will tell you it's not
There's
very
so many.
uncommon to just shake your damn head and say, what were they thinking? You know,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
always
you
a 4x4 trying to pull somebody out of a ditch, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So you try. Common sense will tell you just keep your mouth shut. You do your job, and without people, you wouldn't have a job. But every once in a while, you just gotta ask them, right? What were they thinking? So, and I've heard every excuse, and I always tell them I'm not the judge. You don't got to convince me. If you got a credit card, I'm your friend, right? So
Yep.
whatever it takes.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't argue with anybody.
Mike from Texas, are you on call 24/7, or do you guys have a schedule of work hours? Eric, how do you guys handle that?
It's kind of different for me, really, the way they do things here. But for me, I'm not on a call schedule. I don't typically do call at all. But 24/7, if they call me and they need something, I end up running. But like the typical towing and stuff like that, they've got people that cover that. But I make myself available always for any kind of recovery work, a big job that they might need help with or anything.
Yeah, and up here we do have a schedule, so we rotate through our set guys for the nights and whatnot. But yeah, with the heavy recoveries or really, any recovery, if you get a busy night and you're not on call, sometimes the other guys are calling saying, hey, can you give us a hand out here? We need some help. You get a good system that flows through, and you may not be on call, but you're still out working. So that's all part of the fun.
You're on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do, right?
Yeah. Deborah wants to know: does Ontario have fines for not moving over and slowing down when passing?
Yes, they do. I don't remember what the fine is off the top of my head, but they do have fines for it. That's been a part of the Slow Down Move Over Act that was passed a few years ago. And it's something that is definitely there to deter people from flying by us. But unfortunately, unless there is a cop there to see it, there is no fine that's given out unless they see it. So
there's a sort of law.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword there, right? Yeah, it's one of those, if you're breaking the law, you're not guilty unless you're caught. So it's something that we do anything about, of course.
Right. Well, we'll just have to keep working and advocating on that for sure, because it needs to be, yeah. Slow down and move over. It's the law, folks. What was that?
I might recognize these. I said I might recognize these.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys got a Trail King?
What's that?
I said, you guys got a Trail King? We got to hook you up with a Trailies.
No, that's not ours. I was loading that trailer. That's actually on the Ambassador Bridge, for the record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're asking, and I never had my passport, but luckily I never got past the center, which wasn't a big fiasco to begin with. But we were actually doing that work for the Bridge Authority, for the Bridge Authority. So we were there. We were supposed to be on one side of the booth, ended up happening on another. So technically we left the country. And anyway, it's not too big of a deal, but a little bit of a trick there. So the opposite corner, bottom corner there, that's fishing boat. Just didn't work out for somebody.
Yeah, that's quite the...
You've done something like that before, Collin. Wasn't there, was it last summer? Wasn't there a boat down here in Sarnia that ended up on somebody's front lawn or something?
Yeah, we've done quite a few boats over the years. Oh, geez. I can't remember the one that ended up on someone's front lawn. But yeah, we've done a lot of boats that they've either fallen off trailers or when they get hit, if someone just catches the axles on the trailer's no good, so we got to take the boat out and put it on a new trailer or something like that. There's definitely a lot of different experiences with boats. We'll say that.
Right? Yeah, there's no wheels on them things.
No, they're a little hard to go down the road, but for some reason people try.
And you can't just like, what would you like? Could you even put dollies on that, or you have to lift that up like what we're seeing here and put it on a flatbed? Or
Well,
Yeah.
that one there, actually, where you see it in that photo, I left it there overnight.
Yeah.
We winched that over 1,000 feet out of a lake from basically where the docks are. It crashed in a windstorm. It had stalled and crashed, and then I think actually the fire department lost a boat that night trying to save it too.
oh wow,
That all, and nobody was hurt. All said and done. Like, so, I mean, it's a good ending story there, but you can't see it. But on the other side of that boat, there's a hole in it big enough to drive bolts wet through the side of the boat. So yeah, it was in somebody's backyard, smashing against the rocks.
That does not work out well.
No, and we couldn't get there. We had to do it from the actual marina that was up the road. So that's why it took so much. I mean, we brought spools of line to roll out across the lake, literally to reach the thing. It was a big fiasco, but yeah, we loaded it up the next morning there onto a trailer to take it away.
oh wow. Here's a good one. Larry wants to know: have your two companies worked direct together?
Not in my history. So.
Yeah, I've done a few things now with Gary. He's been down here actually to help us out. And we've even done some training together over the years. I don't know if you were there, Collin. Were you there even?
I don't think
Probably
I was.
not,
I don't. I think I was pretty young when you guys were doing the training together. Actually, that was the last training that I know of. That
was a long time ago.
Yeah, over 15 years ago. So yeah, I was a little young to be driving at that point.
Are you saying I'm old?
No, not at all.
Maybe I am. Larry there. He's from BC. Actually, he's been to Coxon's yard for Wreckmaster and stuff as well. You know Larry, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. He hasn't been down our way yet, but I'm hoping we'll get a meet up sometime in the near future when everything is opened up again.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Great. Yeah. Oh, here's a question for me. I love it when they ask me questions. I don't get them too often, but quick question for David. I heard you were a Syracuse basketball fan. Are you following the tourney? Mike, where did you hear that? Because I could no. I don't pass. I don't know where you would hear that from. I don't really follow basketball. I've been a sports commentator for basketball for Lambton College here, but I don't. No idea.
Traveled down to Syracuse for that?
No, I haven't been around there lately. No, sorry about that. Oh, Jack, he's being funny. Eric, have you ever recovered a car from a roof of a house? Colin knows all about that. I remember the day.
No, he's got me. I've recovered a couple from out of a house, but never the roof of a house.
See, now someone has us beat because I saw a picture online about 2 or 3 months ago of a car that was actually on and through a roof. And the video on that, because someone has a video of that, and it's freaking wild, man. Just watching the car coming down the street and just launching through and into this guy's roof. Like, oh, I could only imagine that one. Like, ours was wild.
And when you recover that, they're going to be standing there telling you not to scratch it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, don't scratch that. That panel's still good. Yeah. I think that's the least of your worries. Oh.
I remember the day that Colin and his dad had to go get that car off the roof of a house. We were
I remember something about sabotaging our lawnmowers, Dave.
So anyway, whatever. You can just make up all the excuses you want. Eric, Colin and his dad don't like to lose, but anyway, we were racing. We were out at the Western Ontario Outlaw lawn tractor racing in Petrolia, and it was myself and my son racing against Gary and Colin, and they had the big rotator out there. And honestly, I think what really happened was
I've seen the videos.
Yeah,
You see my dad.
Well, what happened? They were rushing us through because we were like, oh, we got to go do this call, right?
Oh yeah,
And then they couldn't even get around the fact that they caught me with pliers in my pocket had absolutely nothing to do with it. I want to be very clear with that. And then they sabotaged mine because Jason won by default. Anyway, I remember that day, and then I remember you guys getting there and sending me. I think it was your mom actually sent me some pictures, and I was like, "Wow, how does that? That's got to be one where you're like, what were you thinking? How do you get up on the roof of a house with your car?"
Lots of speed, and yeah, that's about it.
Very carefully.
Yeah, Carl was there with us that day. Carl,
Yep.
He was down watching. Mark wants to know, how's the golf game, Eric? Had to buy any more ice caps?
No, I have not. Yeah, there's a story. We even have special T-shirts made for that occasion. But no, Mark, I have not bought any more ice caps of late, and I don't plan on buying any this year. It's a little golf thing that we have when we play golf, eh?
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't like to lose. If
Dennis,
you lose, you gotta buy the ice caps.
Oh, okay, I got you. Usually, I always thought it was the winners bought the losers a drink, or maybe that's in curling. I don't know. Mark wouldn't want to buy anyway. Working with Eric has been an amazing experience. Couldn't ask for a better guy to have my back out there. I would look forward to working with Collin one day.
Well, thank you, Dennis. Yeah, we look forward to hopefully one day working with you guys out there that way too. That'd be a little bit of fun, wouldn't it?
Hey, Dennis, don't have to be nice. It's too late. He said, I get to drive the truck. He didn't say that you're going to get to drive the truck. I asked first. Yeah, we got to get on a job together, all of us.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I saw one earlier, Collin. Somebody was asking. They thought it would be neat if you went over to England and towed over there, and one of their guys from England came over here. There's really a huge difference in that industry, country to country, right?
Oh, it's crazy the differences between different countries, and I would love to go over to Europe and actually do some work over there. I was fortunate enough, and I've talked about this a few times, going over to the Netherlands, and I met up with a tow friend over there, and he took me out actually on a call and showed me kind of how they do things over there. And it wasn't like a wreck or anything, but it was just a simple breakdown. But it was still neat to see how different they do things over there, and really it would be a fun experience, getting to go to different places in the world and see how it's done. This job doesn't really have a right answer on how to do the job. There's so many different right answers on how you can do a recovery, and that's the neat thing about it.
Never boring, right? Eric, would you go over to another country and do that?
Oh, I would love to do that for sure. I mean, I'm probably getting to that stage where I don't know how much longer I'd be able to do it. But that being said, the opportunity there, I'd love it. I used to joke with the wife there about maybe I got to switch out with somebody over on the Coca-Cola there and give that a minute or two, right? I figured they'd jump out of the truck on the side of the 401 and they'd go home. So, I guess everybody has their challenges, and even for Europe, some of the equipment is even much different than we're accustomed to here. So there'd be some interesting stuff to see.
I can see it now. Heavy Rescue International.
Autobahn.
Maybe.
Oh man, that would be. There
was actually a comment about the Autobahn earlier. We were talking about the slow down, move over. I was sorry I lost it, but they were saying on the Autobahn, they're very well respectful of when there's a wreck, everybody moves over, slows right down, and it's like they get it apparently.
Oh, Europe
That's
does it
good.
so far better. I find when I was over there, it was just amazing the stuff that they did to make sure that the drivers were safe out there while they're working on the side of the roads.
Right.
It's their system is so much better than what we have over here by far. And it goes to show too, though, over in Germany on the Autobahn, they have to get a special license to be able to drive on the Autobahn, from what I understand. So, that kind of goes to show you have to have that extra training, over there and as a young driver. And I think that would go a long way
Oh, you
over
mean
here
just
as
to
well.
drive on the Autobahn itself?
I
Even as
don't.
a boat operator?
I think it was just like in general, the youth over there have a lot more training, from what I understand. So someone could probably correct me on that, but from what I've
Okay.
seen and understand, that they have a lot more training as young drivers than we do.
Okay. This is never going to go away, Collin. I'm really, really sorry. I know I filter these out sometimes, but this has to stick. Collin, any more mud runs lately? And then to follow up, Jack says, last time, Eric, have you ever done a mud recovery?
Maybe one or two. I've been in mud so deep, they literally used a tow truck to pull me out of it. So.
Right. Wow. Mud or ice, Eric? What would you prefer?
Ice.
Ice.
Easier to clean off the truck.
Oh, I don't like ice. I've had some bad experiences with ice. I'll take mud any day of the week. I can get myself out of the mud. I hate it, but I'll get myself out of the mud.
I didn't say ice. I didn't say ice in the middle of the lake. I'm talking about ice on the highway or
I
still. But I don't do rivers. Guys like me don't go on ice over the river. I promise.
I have one story about ice. I put a truck through ice, and it was only a couple feet deep, but that was the scariest experience when you feel that truck drop, and it's like,
oh, it's a tow truck. Oh,
wow. Yeah. That was one of the scariest things that I have ever experienced, and because I didn't know how deep it was, and I was told it could be anywhere between 2 feet and 5 feet deep. So that was not a fun experience when I found that.
There's a huge difference there between 2 and 5 when you're talking about a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a huge difference.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between a foot and 2 feet, I would think.
Yeah. It turned out to be about 3 foot deep, because it was in the cab by the time when it settled. The truck was it was right down to the cab. And the truck that I was
like, how am I? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, we were really worried about that one. And the truck that I was pulling out, their truck almost pulled my truck out trying to recover their truck. That's how stuck theirs was. So they had broken through, all 4 wheels broke through, and then they left it running, and it's the hot engine and whatnot melted it into the ice even that much more. So it didn't break fully through the ice, but it refroze itself into the ice, and it literally almost pulled my truck out getting that one out. And then once I got that one out, we ended up actually having to take bars to break the ice all the way to the nearest spot that I could get to, and we had another wrecker there and pulled me out. But that was not a fun experience. I had the window open. I was out that window before the truck hit the bottom. I can tell you that.
I know one of my first thoughts would be, how am I going to pay for this?
Yeah.
I was thinking that the whole time.
If this thing goes down, how am I going to pay for this?
Yeah.
Then I've got some explaining to do when I get back to the office.
Oh, my dad was there with me, so
right.
he was there that time.
So you couldn't have even made up a lie.
Nope.
Yeah, but if his dad's there, you shouldn't have to.
Yeah,
let him do it.
Right.
We were kind of both on the same page. There was no way. So we were actually in one of the refineries, and we were trying to recover a pickup truck on the backside of one of these tanks. And the big storage tanks for the oil, they have big berms around them. So they only have one way in. And then in the winter, for whatever reason, they flood these berms. I don't know why. So they flood it, and for whatever reason, the people had driven around to the other side instead of walking to check the valves. They drove around to the other side, and then they broke through right where the valves were. And yeah, so I had to get halfway around, and luckily our other truck was able to stay on solid ground. So it kind of worked out. Their truck was way at the other side. I was halfway, and then our truck was on solid ground. But yeah, it was that was not a fun day. I did not like that.
Well, there's one of those unique stories we were looking for from earlier, right? That one's going to stick out for sure.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, Peter says that's what insurance is for, but yeah,
I don't think that one would go over so well with the insurance company. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Need marine insurance for that, no?
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Sean says, let's go start with Eric. Hey, Collin or Eric, if you had to change jobs, what would it be? That's got to be a tough one.
I'm way too set in my ways now.
Did you have a different career path at one time? Like, had you decided this is what you were doing, or did you have different directions you were looking at earlier in life?
If you're asking me, no, to be honest with you, I was really undecided what I wanted to do. And like I said, I worked across the street from these guys and decided to go for it. And here I am all these years later. So yeah, it's been a good decision for me. You know, it's a hard job, but you learn a lot. And if you like what you do, you know what they say, right? You don't really work a day in your life. So
that's
here
right.
I am. It's
100%.
You know, so it's a hard life apparently, but it's not working. So it's been good. I seriously no regrets, right? So that's the important part.
Yeah. Collin, what about you?
Yeah, I'm a car guy, so it would still be somewhere along the auto industry. What it would be, I have no clue. This is the job that I've known pretty well since day one, and this is the job I love. And you know, it's it's hard when you've been doing this for a while and you haven't really thought of anything else. I can't really think of what else I would rather be doing. But no, if it was something outside of this, I guess it would be somewhere else in the auto industry of some sorts.
Right. Yeah. Well, guys, here we are. We've gone over time again because me, the producer, lost track of time. We were having so much fun. But I want to thank you both, as always, for being here. And Eric, thanks so much for giving us your time here tonight. It's nice to virtually meet you. I know we've been chatting online for quite some time, but this is kind of the first time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Eric. It's been awesome. It's been a really good experience here.
It's been fun. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care, everybody.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll get you back again. I think I could have like 10 people on screen, Collin. We could have.
We got to do a big event.
Maybe I'll put a light Maybe I'll put a light in here next time.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, now that you bring that up.
Well, I closed the blinds behind me over there because I couldn't see.
We'll ship you a
glare. And then, you know, but daylight when we started. No, it's not. So I've been sitting here thinking, do I reach over and turn on that lamp? What do I do here? I don't know. So.
Oh, now he thinks of that. It really has been a lot of fun having you here, Eric, and I'm sure we'll do it again. And yeah, Collin, we should figure out a big event where we can get a whole bunch of folks here and having a good time. And thanks to all of you for watching here. We'll agree that, well, we need to get you a lamp first.
No, I have me a lamp. It's literally.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I got you. Okay.
Didn't know if I was supposed to go over there and turn it on. Is all. Anyhow.
Gotcha. I will give you one final chance here, though, Eric. Any final words you want to throw out to everybody before we go?
No, just thanks to you guys for having me on, and thanks to everybody that supports the show. It's been fantastic.
Right on, Collin.
Just as always, you know, remember the slow down, move over law. You know, just stuff like that. And thank you guys, everyone, for watching and tuning in. You know, it's been an awesome experience being able to interact with everyone, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yeah, and of course, we don't want to forget that Heavy Rescue 401 happens every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern. get on the channel, get on Discovery Channel and watch that. You never know what exciting things are going to be happening there. Thank you both for being here. And thanks to all of you for watching. We will be back here again next month. You never know who might show up here. I'm David Burrows, always happy to be your host for this Q&A with Collin and friends. Until next time, bye for now.